Hi everyone, we're going to crack a Duskmourn pack, but before that, let's have a look at the new playmats from Quokkapads. Great product. Not a sponsor. Anyway, let's get cracking. Alright, so today we're going to talk about largely the set mechanics and their flavour. This card, Turn Inside Out, is a combat trick that gives a combat boost, and when the creature dies, you manifest dread, which means that you look at the top two cards of your library, put one onto the battlefield face down as a 2/2 creature, and then you put the other one into the graveyard. This is quite flavourful. You can imagine that you have your creature, and then suddenly it turns inside out into this toothy maw of chomping and gnashing, so it adds the combat boost. And then when that creature dies, outside of that maw, or from the maw, comes another creature, a mysterious creature. You don't know what it is, but it's manifestly dreadful. Manifest Dread is an interesting mechanic because it's manifest, which is just swapping out, taking one of the top cards of your library onto the battlefield as a 2/2 creature, which may or may not be a scarier, bigger creature, who knows, or it might just be a land, but there's this dread element, and part of that, I think, is the haunted house quality, where all mysterious, scary things are happening, but we don't quite know what they are, and so they are manifesting dread in the participants in the haunted house. But there's also a funny flavour in the game itself, because if you put something quite scary into the graveyard, then there's this other thought, oh my god, what have they manifested? This could be something even worse. And so it's both flavourfully dreadful, but also in-game is a bit scary too. So that's kind of cool. A double whack of flavour. Here we have Possessed Goat. Again, quite clean, quite simple flavour. It's a 1/1, but it becomes possessed. When you discard a card, you then put 3 +1/+1 counters on it, and it becomes a 4/4 black demon goat. So the goat comes back possessed, which is quite nice. You have the goat ready to sacrifice, and then it becomes a demon. Simple card, Murder, classic. The art is really classic. It's very much psycho slasher film. All you see is the outstretched knife, and then the impending doom for the victim here. Cautious Survivor. This is a survivor card. So at the beginning of your second main phase, if Survivor is tapped, you gain 2 life. And so survival is this mechanic which requires a creature to be tapped, and at the end of combat, then if it still is tapped, then you get some bonus. And what I think is being got at here is that these people are scraggly survivors. They're doing anything to survive, and that sometimes means combat, that sometimes means exerting themselves in some way, crewing a vehicle or whatever it is, and it's in that hard scrabble effort that they're putting in. They can't stay put. They're always moving. They're always doing something to survive. It's in that they keep surviving, and so you get your little bonus. Interestingly, I heard on Maro's Drive to Work podcast, very much recommended, you should go have a listen, that they tried to call it something else, where requiring these people to attack, but it had the wrong flavour, because the survivors should be only just surviving. They shouldn't be always attacking the bad guys or the house or the demons or whatever. And so they had to be encouraged to attack because they are an aggro deck, but in a way which felt more like they were just hanging on. And survival is a pretty nice way of doing that. Final card, a room. I won't get into the specific flavour of this room, but just talk about rooms generally. They are quite complicated rules-wise, I think, but they are also interesting from a flavour perspective, because what is actually happening here, flavour-wise? The idea is you're walking through this haunted house with millions and millions of rooms, and rooms that keep changing one to the other. And I know from, again, Maro's Drive to Work, that they were trying to get the flavour of movement, going from one room to the other. And so you cast a room, and you cast only one of the rooms. So I think that means you're in that room, and when you're in that room, something happens. That's the effect you get. But then you have this unopened room, the unlocked room. The locked room, and you have to go into that by paying the mana for that room. I suppose paying the mana for it, unlocking the door, is the idea of walking to another one. But it's a bit strange because there's only 2 rooms, and then once you've unlocked them, you get the benefits of both. They don't go away. It seems to me that if you were walking through the room, you'd be in one room, you'd have the benefit of that, and then you'd go to the other room, and you'd have the benefit of that. There'd be that idea of movement. Now, obviously, for game balance, they've made the effects permanent, but it's a... I kind of get what they're getting at, and I know that in early design they tried things like more like a AFR dungeons. This kind of does it, but we'll see how it plays out in gameplay. All right, that's it for now. See you later. Thanks for joining us on MTG Flavour Source. If you like what you see, please like, share, or subscribe. See ya.